Hi, I want to welcome you to Quilt Tube number 18. My name is Jennifer.
And I'm Taylor.
If you love quilts, reproduction fabrics, and scrappiness, you are in the right place. We have some really fun things to show you today. We put out these videos every 6 weeks to show you what we have been up to in our little corner of the quilting world. So let's jump right into it. I'm excited to show you my first little finish, which is a Kim Diehl mini quilt from her Simple Whatnots club. It's collection 3. It's called Scarlet Stars. The finished quilt size is 16.5 by 16.5. Don and Marva are my long armers. They do all of my overall quilting, and they actually surprised me with this quilt design. I love what they did. They just did a block instead of an edge-to-edge design. And as you can see, I have my label on there. That's my favorite part, is when you're done with your quilt, to iron your label, the last step, to be like, yes. So add it to the pile of finishes for 2026. Since Scarlet Stars came from Kim Diehl Simple Whatnots, we know a lot of our viewers love her stuff. Her Simple Whatnot books are really popular. Now, the Scarlet Stars came out of book number 1, but this is too hard to get. You really can't get this one easily. So we thought it'd be fun for our giveaway for this video to do her Simple Whatnots 2. So this book we're going to be giving away to one of our lucky viewers who would like the opportunity to win this. Just check the description below about the rules, and all you have to do is leave a comment and tell us what your favorite Simple Whatnot quilt from Kim Diehl is, or in fact, any quilt that you're working on right now. It doesn't even have to be a Kim Diehl one now that I think about it, right, Taylor?
No, that's okay.
My second finish that I teased last video is my Things Above collection. It's from the Fancy That Design House, and it's Hope and Future quilt. The finished size is 65 by 75. My mother found this at JK Quilts and had me buy her the pattern and the fabric to make this as a Mother's Day gift. And I finished it in time for Mother's Day. How spoiled rotten is she? She is going to love opening this on Mother's Day and find this beautiful quilt waiting for her. I think it's going to make her really happy.
Yes.
So we're going to show you a little bit of it here. Then I got some close-ups of it. This is her favorite scripture, she told me. She loves this one out of the Bible. It just makes her so happy to think about how God wants to actually have good things in our future for us. I did a really scrappy piecing here all the way around. I also did scrappy binding on it for her using all the leftover 2.5-inch strips that I had. And then this is the backing fabric. It is directional, so I made sure to piece it so that it would go across correctly. And then here's my label. All right.
My grandma also loves the burgundies in her quilts. So
oh,
it's
yes.
always fun seeing that.
Oh, yeah. She wanted to make sure there were lots of pinks and burgundies in this. My mother specifically wanted the leaf and curl block pattern that she found. So Don and Marva usually do an edge-to-edge pattern. This was a block one, but they were able to connect it really nicely and make it look like it flows and that it is not a block. And I thought they did a great job, and it turned out really nice. My next quilt is so close to being a finish. I was hoping to have it done in time, but sometimes things happen. This one is Sky and Sea by Laundry Basket Quilts. Now, you need to be aware when you order this pattern, this is how it will come. It will not come showing the blue and red version, but they have a great customer service. If you have any problems figuring out the color conversion, they can help with that. I was really happy with how this turned out. I ended up needing a border. Don and Marva said I didn't want to lose my points and that it would be a good way to stop your eye to help the quilt end. So the border, as you can see, is not in the pattern. I decided to add that with some feedback. Now, I was going to use this as my binding, but Grandma Barbara said she really loved this blue fabric, and so she wanted me to finish it in that. So I'm just waiting for more of this fabric to come in the mail. I ordered it to be able to do the binding instead of this fabric. She thought since it would coordinate perfectly, it would just stop your eye, like that's where the quilt ends, which I like. So I wasn't going to argue with Grandma Barbara. She usually knows what she's talking about. She's my partner in crime. So I learned a lot from this quilt. I really worked on trying to not cut off my points, but Grandma Barbara also brought up a good point that I could use these half square triangle papers, 2-inch is what I could have used to even help with accuracy so that I didn't have any points get cut off at all. Every time I do a quilt, I get better and better with my points. And I know you can always have, imperfections in your quilt, but I feel like I want to learn how to really get my points nice and sharp and have them as close as I can to perfect. I love the backing fabric that came with my kit. The quilting design I picked was soft stars, edge to edge, for my all over quilting design. And it was really helpful that this fabric is so interesting. But there was a little bit of piecing needed so that I could keep it so it didn't look like I was piecing it. So Marva helped me out with that, which I appreciate. I don't know if you can tell, but here is where it got pieced, and then we just had to add a little piece. Marva just did this little piece right here. And so look, doesn't that just flow really nicely? You can't even tell the piecing job on the back. I am really getting into the patriotic quilts. With the 250th anniversary, I want some quilts to celebrate it. So my next one is Freedom Star by Laundry Basket Quilts. You gotta love them. So this one is 65 3/4 by 65 3/4. I completed the top. I have not picked my backing. I have not picked my quilt design, but the top is done. So check this out. I am so happy I was able to get this all pieced since I met you last time. Last time, this was all just cut out strips. I'm really happy with how my blue centers turned out. My points, I'm definitely happy with how nice my points came together. I'm getting much better. Like I said, every time my points are turning out sharper and sharper. And then it did come with this little white border in the pattern to go all around. I loved the fabric choices in here. Lots of pinks, reds. I think it's going to quilt up beautifully. I cannot wait to decide what I'm going to do with Don and Marva. I have picked out 108 backing with Taylor that I think we're going to get. We want to do 108 so we're not having to do all the piecing. And we're thinking about maybe some white, well, more of a cream and blue background with some floral. So yes, we'll report back. Yeah, we'll report back next time. Since we're on the topic of Laundry Basket Quilts, I'm totally crazy about her mystery quilt along. I've been following along, printing out every single month. She just came out with month 3. In fact, we're almost on month 4 here. And I think this is beautiful. So of course I had to get some reds. I haven't started. I haven't cut anything out. I am printing off every month as it goes along, but I'm really enjoying seeing where this is going. While my Freedom Star quilt was a huge finish, I'm actually so excited to finally have my Little Red Riding Hood Hexagon EPP project top finished. Yes, I have completed the top. I need to do a shout out to Linda. You're awesome, Linda, Grandma Barbara's friend, who gave me just a bit of fabric, enough out of her sewing room to be able to put this border on. All I needed was a little bit for my border, and here it is. Can you believe this? 10 years in the making, stitching this all by hand, and it's finally going to be ready to go to the quilters. This project, the only thing that saw a sewing machine was my border when I stitched it on. You can see all my papers. Now that I have my border on, I will have to starch this like crazy because I'm going to want all of my seam allowance backing to lay flat nicely. I'll have to pull out hundreds of these papers. I kept them so that my shape wouldn't get distorted at all because this was such a long-term project. Taylor loves it because I did make it for her. Just a little behind, okay? So I'm thinking this is going to be my backing fabric. I have enough. Again, this is another one that will require some piecing, but I looked at all my options. I also had this white one, but I think I'll just save this for another project because I kind of like this. And then we're going to use the red as my binding. The rest of my whips aren't nearly as far along, but that's okay. So here we have Back in Time by Primitive Gatherings. The finished size is 16 by 18. And I'm really actually enjoying having this hand project to work on. This is more embroidery, but I'm really enjoying it. I get my Valdani thread out. I picked out exactly what the pattern calls for. I have stitched down all my vines and I'm working on my leaves now. I am using a 3-stranded floss, number P2, and I use 1 strand while stitching, and it's coming along. I thought this wasn't going to be in the works for a while, but sometimes it's nice just to have something to sit down and stitch. It doesn't take a lot of thought. I can just kind of zone out, think about things, and stitch away. Now we got to get back to Kim Diehl, because of course I always love having a little project of hers in the works. So this one is called Stash Hash. I haven't had a chance to cut everything out yet, but I'm having a lot of fun cutting out these itty bitty little pieces. I'm loving the colors. I was able to buy this as a kit. This is from her Simple Whatnots collection number 13. The finished quilt size will be 12.5 by 14.5. And this features prints from Kim Diehl's Quiet Grace collection. And so, you know what? These little ones, you got to be really precise because there are such small pieces, but I love the small ones because you can get them done. They're affordable and they're really fun when you just have all these little pieces to work with. If that wasn't enough whips to keep me busy, I'm really excited to tell you about a collaboration we were offered with Babylon Leather. We couldn't believe it, Taylor and I, being a small channel, when Donna reached out to us and said, hey, what do you think about a do-it-yourself leather bag kit where you make the bag? And we said, okay, we're game. Yeah. Let's try it out. This sounds really cool. So she let us pick out the bag. Taylor helped me. Yeah. And Taylor helped pick out the fabric. They had really fast shipping. They got it to our house. We've looked it over. We're going to show you some of it now. They have almost 100 bag options to choose from. The bag we picked says it will take about 5 hours to make. As you can see here, it's leather pieces that are already pre-cut out and stamped with all the holes for you to stitch. Yep. It comes with all the hardware so that you can, it has the needles, the scissors, everything you need to make it. This is the fabric design that Taylor picked out. And we're kind of excited to try this out. So we're going to tell you next time what we thought of the process of making our own bag. I thought, you know, that's kind of neat. So thank you. Fun. Yeah. Thank you, Babylon Leather, for giving us the opportunity. Whoops, there goes our handles. We wanted to let you know if you're interested in getting a bag too, they did give us a discount code of 10% off, and it's 10 Jennifer. We're going to post it on the screen for you, and it will also be in the description and a link if you're interested in trying. If that's not enough to keep me busy, I want to tell you about another opportunity. Lori from Texstylust reached out to me about doing a quilt along with her. This will be my first one ever, of Liberty Star Banner by Kim Diehl. It is a free pattern. We will link it below. Lori is a really awesome and prolific cross stitcher and quilter. We're going to link her video below as well. She recently showed off a cross stitch she did for her granddaughter. It is so sweet and precious. It's a real family treasure. So be sure to check out her videos. She is really great, and I am so lucky to be making friends in the quilting world out there in YouTube. So thank you, Lori, for offering me this opportunity. She had a kit. I unfortunately did not have a kit, so I had to take some time to look through my stash of fabrics to pick out what I wanted. These are all ones I found. I couldn't believe it when I had this confluence of events. Lori saw my video about all my patriotic quilts and said, let's do this. When I looked at the quilt, I realized, hey, wait a minute, I think I've wanted to make this quilt before. And so when I went down to my quilting room, there was the pattern. I had printed it out years ago, wanting to make it. And then when I went to see my Aunt Karen, as you walk in her house, laying on her chair right there at the front door, was this Liberty Star banner quilt. So I said, it's meant to be. So thank you so much, Lori, for this opportunity. We really appreciate it. And we super appreciate your shout out that you gave us on your last video.
I thought it was super cool when my mom showed me the video of Lori's quilt tube, and she was saying everything about our channel and my crocheting, and I really appreciate it, and knowing that there's people who really enjoy watching us.
With this new project starting, I want to tell you about a class I recently took with Grandma Barbara, where she shared with me her personal starching method. She uses 40% of Terriol and 60% of Mary Ellen's Best Press. I bought this spray bottle at her quilt shop. So again, 40%, 60%. You can buy both of these on Amazon. We can link them down below for you. And then I put them in this mister. You need to make sure that when you spray your fabric that you iron it dry and you don't leave your fabric damp. She gave me a couple pointers that I want to share with you. And also it's great because it keeps all the fraying down on your fabric so it's not unraveling on you, and it gives it a stiffness to the fabric that's really nice. So your piecing can be nice and sharp. We want to tell you about the quilts behind us. We're getting fancy today with 3 quilts. Yes. The first one behind me is from Grandma Barbara. When she gave it to me, I was so ecstatic. Be still my heart. Can you believe it? She made this and passed it on to me. Isn't it beautiful? I'm in love. So of course this had to be our background. And then since it's a little smaller, we thought, why not throw some pretty quilts on either side of it? Yeah. So the one behind me is Cherry Cobbler, and it is from the book Spotlight on Scraps, 10 Pretty Quilts by Cyndi Walker. And our volume is different because we decided to skip the microphones. We were trying it out, but we're not sure we really liked the volume, right?
Yeah. So if you guys would like, let us know down in the comments if you like microphone audio or just us speaking.
Yes. So. And then the quilt behind Taylor is from the book Modern Vintage. And this is another EPP, English Paper Piecing project. And it is called Star Quilt by Helen Phillips. I can't remember all of them, so I gotta check. Taylor and I had the chance to go out to California to visit family. So we had the opportunity to spend a whole day with Grandma Barbara in her shop.
Yes. And she knows that I love making my Star Patch hoodies with hearts. So she taught me how to make the hearts on these and not have the hoodies fray when I wash them.
No raw edge.
Oh, no raw edge, yes.
Yes, and it uses the Kim Diehl interfacing on the back. Do you want to show them one, Taylor, the back? So Taylor got a personal 101 class.
So I'm going to use these and sew them onto a hoodie of mine.
Well, Grandma Barbara wasn't done. She spoils us rotten. She also gave me a wonderful chicken quilt that comes from the book Farm Girl Vintage by Lori Holt. And I couldn't believe it because I have chickens. I love chickens. I have chickens right in my backyard. We can see them while we're taping this. And this is my chicken quilt. Grandma Barbara knows I love chickens. So she had to pass this one on to me, which is perfect. I just thought, that's great, chickens. You can't go wrong with me and chickens. Thank you, Grandma Barbara. We really appreciate the beautiful quilts. While in California, we were also able to see my mother, who had a beautiful china set she had picked up for me on the second-hand market called Stetson. It is from the, I wrote this down, from the 1946 to 1966, but in the 1950s, it hit its real popularity. She was able to get me a full set for 6 people, 6 place settings. It's beautiful. It has all the different accessories. Will you grab the picture there too, Taylor? And so I could not believe it. This is a domed cake plate. Now, I'm going to show you something interesting about this. It had a hole in the top. Now, some of you are going to know what that is, but my mother and I, we had no idea why there was a hole. We thought maybe the knob was missing. We thought maybe it went something like this. We weren't sure what was going on. Thank goodness for Google because we Googled it and guess what? That hole is supposed to be there. And like I said, some of you maybe know this already, but we did not. And they actually kept a hole in it so that your cake would not become too damp and have mold, and it would keep it fresh so the air could circulate inside of here. I had never seen this before, neither had my mother. So that was kind of interesting to learn. And we were able to get all the platters and everything with it. And I just think this is such a nice set. I recently got some Happy Mail from a friend, Cyndi, who made me this beautiful button mug from her mother's button collection. Very vintage. The only thing that's not vintage is the little butterfly, but otherwise everything is. And I just thought these are so unique. I love how she stacked the 3 vintage buttons, and look at these beautiful little clear ones. She did such a great job. I don't really have that many vintage buttons, but I do have 3 of these ones from my grandmother. I cut them off an old coat that we couldn't save, but Cyndi's buttons are really neat. So thank you, Cyndi, for that. I'm going to display that on my kitchen windowsill. Now we're ready to announce our winner for our last giveaway, which was Simple Friendships by Kim Diehl and Joe Morton. Who's our winner, Taylor?
The Spirited Quilter.
Congratulations. We used to use a random comment generator, but we got so many people entering our giveaways that now we have to throw everybody in a pot and just pick one out because they charge you.
Yeah.
So that's how we're deciding our winner. You just have to go into a big pot because that's for free. And we know probably a lot of people are going to want to enter for our giveaway this time, which is Simple Whatnots #2 by Kim Diehl. You will get a new book mailed to you through Amazon. All you need to do is leave a comment about your favorite Kim Diehl quilt or any quilt. Yes, we would love to hear from you and see what you are up to as well. All right, Taylor, you ready?
Yes, I have a lot to show this time. At least I kind of think so.
Yes, she has been very industrious of late. I have to jump in here really quick because I'm so proud of myself. When I turn it over to Taylor, I usually remember something I forgot, and she goes, "Mom!"
Yeah.
And it didn't happen this time, so yes.
Very good. So I'm going to start with my crochet. I still haven't done much. I will have hopefully a lot in like June when I get motivated for my market, but I have a cute little caterpillar. I've really enjoyed making these. This is the only one with legs because I'm having a really hard time lining them up and they keep not laying flat. So I gave up on that program. So this one's still cute, but without legs because I'm just not willing to put in that effort right now.
Okay, she even asked me to help with that, and the legs
so
were tricky.
Hard. Yeah. And for my markets, I really love sewing my hoodies. So I really want to try selling them at markets. And now that I have some ways so they don't fray and like the raw edging, I really want to try selling them. So I've got some Hobby Lobby sweaters and I've been buying a lot of fabric lately.
Oh yes, it's dangerous for me to go to the fabric store. I can't even take her with me now. She finds more than I do.
So my first hoodie that I want to make is my mom will show. I got the inspiration on Pinterest, and then sorry, I'm trying to show these fabrics, but these are all my blues that I decided on at Sally's Back Porch Fabrics. So I'm very excited to make this one, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to make it without the bad edges because I don't know if I can.
Yeah, with the raw edges turned under. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now the next hoodie I'm showing, I'm keeping for myself because I think it is too cute and I really want to wear it myself. So these are the colors I chose. So hopefully they're similar enough and I like it with my fabrics because I really want this to turn out like the photo because I am obsessed with how this hoodie looks. So I love that one. My final thing is I made this cute Lego set for my mom because it totally reminded me of her, and I thought it'd be perfect to make for her. And I actually found it on the way to California. We stopped by a quilt shop, and I had to make this for her.
In Battle Mountain, Nevada. It was a cute little shop. Taylor and I are both like, dang, that needs to be closer. No, maybe it's a good thing it's not closer so we don't spend any money.
Yeah. So those are all my things that I've made and done. So,
well, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We really appreciate it. We'll look forward to hearing from you in the comments, and we'll see you again in 6 weeks. Thanks.
Bye. We hope you enjoyed our video today, and please subscribe to help us get to 2,000 subscribers.